It is up, everyone. This is Captain Eon speaking, and for today's share, I'd like to just talk briefly on the idea that I've entitled, What's the Count? And I formed this idea around what God says in chapter 2, verses 3 to 11 of today's treatment. Now, I personally don't believe in speaking of or on the good works that I do that are supposed to be done in secret. But I do things with the intent of benefiting others, whether it's the body, which I want to really take more of a focus on, but also whether it's just anybody. I like to think that I do check the box off in this category when it comes to doing things for others. But I posed the question on truly whether or not I am indeed doing it for the absolute right reasons, which are only right because God says they are. Now, my first response or answer to that question is no. If I'm doing things to help other people, that in itself, at least for that moment, is evidence and proof. Each of those moments are separate pieces of evidence that I count others before myself. But then as I even say these words, my second thought says the fact that I would just say such a thing as the aforementioned is proof that I am indeed doing it for the wrong reasons, because if I was indeed doing it for the right reasons, I would not have just had this previous thought or notion that, yes, no, I know for a fact that my intentions are pure because the simple act is evidence for that. I need something more simpler. And it's like the best answer I can find for when doing something is, I don't know if I started seeing it in cartoons or it's an adage or something where it was illustrated, but it's this whole notion of, like splitting up something, divvying something up. And in doing so, it's this whole, 2 for me, 1 for you thing. I certainly can say fairly surely that is certainly the wrong thing to do. And maybe even equality is not what God is asking for. He's not even saying 1 for me and 1 for you, but he's saying, no, the count should be more for others. Everything else is greater than me. And I think that's the real count. I want to live a life that is lived down on my knees for the count. Because I believe when I seek to really be in that space, in that mind frame, in that head space where my life is lived on my knees. I just like how that came out. On my knees. Down on my knees for the count. That once that is my lifestyle, my mindset, everything I do at that point, all my intentions towards edifying the body are being done for the right reasons. Caption this. Because I liked it so much, I'll bring it back again. In order to truly put oneself after others, you gotta stay down on one knee for the count. Down on bended knee for the count. For it